Hello again, church. I hope you're doing well. Coming to you from my kids' swing set. For some reason, when I think of a swing set, I think of two emotions. One of them is the joy of being a kid, hanging out with your friends on a swing set, or the romance that often romantic comedies put couples on swing sets. Have you noticed that? As the sun's going down and birds are chirping. The second emotion is often that sort of sullen, austere, heavy introspection, usually a single individual on a swing set as the sun goes down, dark, ominous music in the background, right? In the mental picture of the movies. And they're thinking, maybe something has happened to them. Maybe they have a big decision ahead of them. I want to encourage you today from Psalm 37. For some reason, I just thought of the swing set. So Psalm 37 takes up the theme that Psalm 36, we saw last week, began. Psalm 36 talked objectively about sin and what it does to us. Psalm 37 continues the theme, as does 38, 39, and 40 of sin, but specifically about what you do when someone sins against you. Now, that's a relevant subject in this time. Relationships can be hard, tense, spending a lot of time with our family. And for some of you and for some of us, that's been difficult. Been away from bosses and coworkers and teams. And when we get together, sometimes that can be frustrating. There's lots of wounds and hurts that are potential in these situations, sometimes more than normal. What do you do when someone sins against you? What do you do when someone slaps you or hurts you, unintentionally or intentionally? How do you respond? Psalm 37, and I hope you read it today. It's only 40 verses. It'll only take you a few minutes to read. Has some great encouragement from the Lord. Most of us remember verses 4 and 5. Delight yourself in the Lord. He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to Him. Trust also in Him, and He will do it. That's Psalm 37, verses 4 and 5. But what about verse 3? This is good, godly counsel, straight from the character and heart of God to you when someone sins against you. Trust in the Lord and do good. That's how you respond. Dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. What about verse 7? Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Verse 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. You must understand it's not for you to reach out, to lash out in anger or frustration. We often want the other person who sinned against us to feel some suffering. We want justice. That's God's business. It's up to us to respond by leaning into God in this time. Now that sounds quite the opposite of what we want to do, our flesh wants to do. We want to lean into the other person. Psalm 37, the words of David remind us it's most important. I want to encourage you, step one, lean into God when someone sins against you. Rest in Him, trust in Him. Read Psalm 37. It'll give you some incredible application and instruction for this difficult time. I hope it encourages you. I love you, church. Hope to see you soon.